Good evening. Before you get to the word of the day, I do want to give you a report about my sister. She had a good day today. They were doing some kind of scan, and if the results came back good from that, she will probably get to go home tomorrow. So thank you for your prayers. They're being answered. Keep praying. Tonight's word of the day is Briar Patch. I don't know if you've ever heard the old story about throwing the rabbit in the briar patch. It's an old tale that I think a fox or something catches the rabbit, and the rabbit begs him just to throw him in the briar patch. It's so awful in there with all those thorns and briars, but actually it's just where the rabbit wants to go. If you hadn't heard the story, that's basically what it is. The rabbit fools this predator into tossing him in there, and he runs away in the briar patch and gets away. Well, I remember one time that people thought I was being thrown into a briar patch. I had finished my education at North Carolina State University to be an agriculture teacher, but I didn't have a job yet. And school was over in the early part of May, and I was living in an apartment in Raleigh. And I didn't want to move all my stuff back to my parents' home because I didn't know where I'd end up working in the state, and I did hope to get a teaching job somewhere. So in the meantime, I took a part-time job. Actually, it was a full-time job that was going to be only for a short time, I hoped, in Raleigh. And what I was doing was driving a compact tractor up and down in fields of shrubs and trees all day long, every day. And people thought, somebody with a college education is doing that? He's going to hate that. But folks, I was a farm boy. These tractors were fairly new, at least compared to what I'd been driving, because I was used to driving 1940 and 50 model tractors at home. And this was the 1980s, so they were old tractors. And this was an almost new tractor, like a brand new one to me. And it had a little disc carrier that went behind it. And I was working for this big plant nursery in Raleigh. The secretary of the department that I had graduated from at NC State, her husband owned the plant nursery. They had started out as a small operation in the 1950s or 60s, and as Raleigh expanded and grew, they made a fortune selling shrubs and trees and bushes and plants for people to plant in their yards around all the houses that were being built around Raleigh. But anyway, they hired me to run that little tractor. And I got to get out in the countryside because they had bought up some big farms and set all those trees and shrubs out, and my job was to disc between them to keep the weeds and the grasses from growing in them. I got to be out there by myself on the tractor, riding back and forth all day long. And for a farm boy from the country who had been living in the city, they had thrown me in the briar patch. I was tickled to be there. Matter of fact, I enjoyed it so much I almost didn't look for a teaching job. I thought I'll just stay up here in Raleigh and ride these little tractors up and down. But I decided no, I'd been in school all that time, so I better go to school, or better get to work at teaching school like I was supposed to be doing. But anyway, I'd been tossed in the briar patch. Everybody thought, oh, that's so terrible. But there were some good things that came out of it. I got paid for that time that I was looking for a teaching job. I got a chance to get out and do something productive that I enjoyed, and those folks were impressed by the fact that I would get out there and ride that tractor every day and not complain and fuss and do it. When I left there, they told me, they said, if you ever need another job, let us know. If you ever need a reference for a job, let us know. Said, you're welcome to come back here anytime. And that was one time when I jumped in the briar patch, and it come out pretty good. It led to something better later on. Sometimes getting in the briar patch is not all that bad. I hope you have a great day, and don't get caught in the wrong briar patch.